Tokenomics rather than plain old economics is a phrase that's become increasingly common with the rise of the crypto economy. But what is the fundamental difference between tokenomics and economics? Well, who better to ask than a passionate fan of tokenomics, Henry Chong, CEO of Fusang. Fusang aims to reshape investment markets with blockchain technology. And of course, we're talking about tokenomics here. Great to have you with us, Henry.
Always great to be here, Angie.
Okay, so how important do you think tokenomics is to the digital community, and why?
Well, especially if you're talking about blockchain-based assets, I think tokenomics is absolutely mission critical. Unlike where you have traditional securities, equities, bonds, funds, etc., where you have an intrinsic value anchor, with pure ICOs or utility tokens, you don't have any of that. There is no intrinsic value, and therefore 100% of the value in the token is because of the token economics associated with it. And I actually think that this is something that the crypto and blockchain-based markets do extremely well. Even though these tokens have no intrinsic value, there have been some really innovative ways that people have designed token economics to power a network and also to use that token to capture value from that network. When you're launching a new blockchain protocol, for example, by definition, if lots of people use the protocol, it has a lot of value. But the question is, on day one, when I don't have users or developers or projects, how do I incentivize people to come and use my network? And I actually think that's one of the core innovations from things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Not just the technology layer, but the incentive structures. How they use a native token, a token that sits endogenously on the blockchain, and how they use that to incentivize early adopters of the blockchain protocol. So if I come and I'm a user or a developer, I get rewarded in that token. And even though I know I'm coming early before the network really has the kind of scale and direct value, by getting an outsized reward in that project token, I'm still willing to come and be an early adopter. And I think actually this is the single reason that has driven the blockchain world so fast and so quickly, token economics.
Yeah, and what's exciting is also how it's expanding into other territories, equity, for example. Tokenomics of equity differs from that of utility tokens, which you've very simply described with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So how does the tokenomics of equity tokens differ from utility tokens?
I actually think that the future of blockchain assets is to hybridize the world of traditional securities and this exciting world of blockchain-based tokens. There's no reason why you can't do both. I do think that it helps when you have a token with a value anchor. For example, each equity token directly represents shares in the company. By holding a token, you become a registered shareholder of the company.
Yeah, it really is that hybrid effect, and I can't believe that tokenomics still hasn't made it into the Oxford English Dictionary as the rise of crypto continues. How do you see tokenomics evolving to the point where it is part of the common vernacular?
I think the reason why token economics works is because it is based on the same kind of fundamental economic principles and incentives that power so much else of our capitalist economy. The real difference is that, number one, it's obviously digital. I can start to do things programmatically with tokens, but also in the fact that people are starting to use these tokens to really get networks off the ground and incentivize people to participate in a network way earlier than they ever could before. To me, the real promise of Web3 is by hybridizing equity and tokens so that companies can say to their users and investors, you don't need to worry whether the value is getting captured at the token layer because of the network effects, or whether the value is getting captured by the company as equity. This one token represents all of it. You don't have to worry about where the value is being captured. And by buying into this token, you are buying into both my company and the promise of the network around my company.
Henry Chong of Fusang, thanks so much for joining us today.